Hi, people. It's Lulu. So far, I didn't set up everything before I got started, did I? Okay. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. Isn't that about normal? This is Lou. I need to make some more of these, and I don't know. I don't think I want to go just that way, so I gotta go this way. I'm gonna do the tic-tac-toe deal. But I gotta make some more of these. So I go to the doctor today. Not really to the doctor. I go get my treatments today. Which is needles going into my body. One of my treatments is... Oh, wonder why that's like that. I have 2 shots. It's 1 shot, but it takes 2 needles to give it to me. And they put 1 in each of my buttocks. I don't know how you say that, so, but anyway, each of my butt cheeks. It's one of those lovely big needles. It's a big needle. And I was told it's supposed to take them. It's supposed to take them a minute. In other words, they're supposed to take their time, and it's supposed to last a minute for each shot, for them putting that in me. That is a, it's not a hormone blocker, but it basically is, I guess. It's supposed to degrade, I'm saying it like they said it, it's supposed to degrade my hormone receptors. Well, I do. I hope that this quilt turns out groovy. I've started using that word again. That was when I was a teenager, I used that word. Groovy grapes. I don't know the significance of the grapes, except for that it's a G. Silly things that kids say and do. Okay. What I'm doing here is I'm leaving my thread in the works. But I'm pulling this needle up. And I'm making it disengage that thread so I can move it clear over here. I'm going to come over here to where my next line will go. Will start. And while that thread is in there, I'm starting that line. Still haven't really decided. It seems like I should stay with what I got going on this quilt, but then part of me wants to just start breaking it up. In other words, do random squares, none of them the same backing, so that each individual square has its own backing and it changes colors on the back. That might have to wait until my next one. I lay my love on you. It's all I wanna do. Every time I breathe, I feel brand new. So I'm anxious to start the next row on my quilt. However, I don't have enough blocks made to do it. Okay, so this one is finished, but what I'm going to do is just slide it off. Leave that string attached. So I found a bunch of the cranberry. Well, I made a bunch of all these things. Anyway, so this is going to be the other part of that block. If I do the blocks the same, but I might not. I think I just need to do a ton of blocks and then just put them together. Still would have a rhyme and a reason. In other words, if you're gonna go start separating them, then you don't want to put blocks together. Or yes, you could. You're so far away. Hey. So I bring this around, and this has now come to the front, and I'm gonna trim it off, cut it off. So there's one, and you can kind of see the string across there. I just drug it across there. I will be trimming that off. In fact, I'll do it right now. But like what I'm doing right now, I do the two colors for the back, okay? But I could do this. Have black and then brown and have the blue and brown. Anyway, it would look good. But I'm gonna stick with my deal because I'm not sure how wide I'm gonna make it, because I might just go straight down, you know, like the rows that are going down. They might just go ahead and be long ways. And then I can shorten the width if I want to. You know what I'm saying? So now I have cut that apart, or off of here, but my string is attached, so I don't have to worry anymore. And instead of going back and trimming things like I'm so tempted to do right now, you don't have to. But you do need to be careful or you're going to cut your material. We don't want to do that. So what I'm probably going to do is just make enough blocks so that I can get that next row done. But I have to remember that I have to leave. I just wanted to do a video and a couple of these squares. I don't know if my car is going to start, so I've got to attempt that early, and once I attempt it, I need to just go ahead and drive over there. Come to find out, the alternator is just kind of hanging on there. It's just loose. Loose as a goose. They said you could just move it with your hand. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. So I'm sure that kind of has something to do with my battery sometimes being dead. Okay, I'm going to turn that around. Do 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 do. All I want to do. Every time I breathe, I feel brand new. You opened up my heart. Ouch. And gave me all your love. And walked right through. As I lay my love on you. Okay, so really I have 2 blocks ready to be put together. I have other blocks waiting for me to sew, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and put this block together. Which means I have to pull this string out further. Alright, we'll cut this string. Yes, I've started throwing my strings on the floor. Kind of like a carpenter, I know. He just went in and did his work, man, and left destruction everywhere. And then you go clean it up after your job is done, I guess. That's what he did. All right, so I just have my tic-tac-toe on here. You can see it on the back. And my tic-tac-toe on here. And these two are going to form one block. Whereas it is two separate blocks, but I'm putting two colors together, the backing, which will make a 12-foot block. And I really like the 6-inch block better. But I have 4 rows of this 12-inch block already, so I think I'm going to finish doing the same thing on this quilt. And on the next one, I'm going to do different. Because I don't think I should really change what I'm doing midway. Midstream, as some would say. My needles are just really little, and they tend to bend really easy. I need to get a hold of some steel. I think it was steel needles that she said. This woman I was watching one day was talking. She was showing quite the demonstration. She uses, I'm pretty sure, okay, I can't swear to it, but she uses steel needles and steel pins. And she had a stack, I mean a big old stack of denim pieces. And you know that's hard to go through, all right? And she's just going up through it like butter. Just sticking that needle up, going all the way through, all the way back down. It was amazing. And so like with these pins, I'm not even sure where I got them. But they're very, some are not sharp at all. And then they're just bent. So when I want to dig in and go through thicker material, it bends them. I lay my love on you. I sure can't wait to do that. All right, I got one block. Well, it's not done because I haven't bound it. See, if I was going to do this exact right, I don't know what time it is. Okay, 20 to 9. Exact right is not necessarily the right words, okay? But what I'm saying is I have now attached these blocks. And it made 12 inches, okay? But if I did it separate and put a different color, each block would be different. But now, what I'm going to do is also bind it. So like in this production thing I was talking about before. That's kind of Willy Wonka's. So you put the two blocks together and then go ahead and bind it while you're at it. So that when you put your rows together, and you got to do all that binding, at least this part is done. So it makes, like on the one I'm doing, which I will probably do different too, it's got 10 squares. 5 blocks of 2 squares. So that's the type of a back it has. I really would rather it wasn't like that. But it's not going to be done. It's not going to be unsewn is my point. It is done. Will not be picking stitches out. Okay, so I've got one side pent and I'm turning it around. And the reason is so that my sticks hit the right place. I know you can't see me. And words just don't always do it. Sorry about my throat. I'll lay my love on you. It's going to be wonderful one day. One day, things are going to be absolutely remarkable. And for now, I'm doing the best I can with my time. Visiting with my family. I'm trying to figure out quilts. Okay, so I have pinned the middle together so I can go ahead. And my little square is off, but that's just how it is. I don't take a ruler and mark lines. I probably would if I had the marker. And also, this quilt has 6-inch squares, but you know, some of them have 10-inch squares. I'm trying to remember, they were showing that. That is what they did. They put a sashing on it. So you can butt up against each other. You can butt up. Like if I didn't have this right here. If it was just only my squares, then you would butt them up against each other and you could zigzag them together, or you can sew them with a 3/8 inch seam, press it with your iron open, you press the seam open, and then you put a little bit of glue down that seam, and then you take a sashing and put there. But see, I'd rather cut it, and the sashing is already in my blocks. That's just the way I'm going to do it. It's just the way Woo is going to do it. Now, I don't have a long time because I am going for my treatments. I don't know if my car is going to start. And I got to get my clothes on. I can never keep my coffee hot. All right, so I've got my quilt laid out on my bed. But I know that I need to make these blocks, so. 5 times 6 is 30. So I don't think 30 is wide enough. You know, for a personal, I'm gone overkill. 10 is way too wide. I think 8 would probably be good. And 8 times 6 is 48. So I think that would be a good measure. 4 feet. But I don't know. I really don't know. So, excuse me for being wishy-washy. We'll just see what it does. Take some votes from the audience. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. So I'm going to the doctor, which will be over by Walmart. Guess where I might just stop and see what they got. I've got some materials for the quilts. However, it takes, I don't know how much material it takes. It's like, okay. My daughter doesn't necessarily like the way these are. She's thinking anyway that she wants the blocks sewn to each other without the batting. Without all the rigmarole. She wants the blocks sewn and put together probably without the sashing too. That's what she's thinking. But see, I'm just trying to figure out something I can do that will be pretty. But everybody, beauty's in the eyes of the beholder. And we have what we get used to. quilting bees, where you have a quilting frame and everybody gets together and sews on this quilt. And I guess these days people are taking, I don't know what they're doing, because it's like they're making the quilt top. And I imagine they would have to get everything, the batting and the backing, and then they take it to somebody else who's got a quilting machine. I've seen them talking about that on here. Okay. Well, I had a goal, and I set it by Christmas. But, you know, that was, especially if I can't do it the way I'm doing it, it gets complicated. We're going to be lucky if it gets done. Okay. So now I've got it bound. This is a little off, but it's just going to be the way it is. But yeah, it's not straight. I need to cut these threads. But see, this will still, it'll be a block, and that's just the way it is. I am not looking for perfection. That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. But see, it's got its quilting done. When it's done, when all is said and done, this is going to disappear. And it's going to disappear all the way around. It's just going to be a 6-inch by 12-inch block. And I'm doing 5 of them. 5 sets of 2, which is 10, which is 60. Well, I got one done. See, if I can get one row done, I'll be excited. Here is black. Now see, I've been doing one print and one solid. But I could do solids. And then they would be framed in the black. Let me see what all is in here. Those are a bunch of solids. So I have to find patterns to go with them. Yeah, those are done. See, so I have a stack that's done. And then I'll leave that there. I got a stack of black back here. Oh, there's blue. Oh, right over there. Okay. So these are all solids. Huh. Oh, there's one. Okay. I'll have to sew that one. Oh, here's another one. Okay. I'll put sets together. Oh, that's red. I lay my love on you. It's all I wanna do. There's red. Go with that. Good. See, red goes with that, and so does the brown. But I need the red. So I'm putting red and roses together. And then these are just solid. Okay, I'll have to find some more black. Lay my love on you. Okay. See, these are not sewn yet. I have to sew them. And it also looks like it needs to be ironed. Those are all prints. But I have a ton of them over here. Okay. Put them diamond shaped. Okay, we'll put you back over there. I lay my love on you. Okay. So I'm just putting blocks together since that's what I'm doing already. They still have to be sewn from the beginning down. These are all the flowers. Okay. I lay my love on you. All right, there's a royal blue. And here is something that goes with that. I know, I gotta get my butt in gear because I'm going to the doctor. Doctor! Mr. MC, won't you tell me what's bothering me? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, royal blue. I love that. It's going with that royal blue. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. These are all this lighter blue. Go over here, that's brown, that's blue. Okay, and there's more rose. Okay, we'll just... Tell me. So blue and brown goes really good together. And then that brown is also in part of these roses. So it goes good with that. Okay. I should really not make too many blocks if I'm gonna change my mind. Because I'm only gonna do like one block per row. All right, so what have I got? I've got some black, and I've got some cranberry, and here's black, and then there's blue. That blue is a black. Okay, we're not gonna do that. We'll take the top one. All right, why is that dog whimpering? He's got a reason for whimpering, I guess, but I don't know what it is. Okay, I'm getting all confused here. We don't want to do that, right? So what I got to do is get ready to go. I don't think I have time to continue. My goodness, there's a bunch of stuff on the floor over here. Okay, one block is done. I'd be proud. I sat down and I got one done, and I've got some sorted out, so when I come back home, I can go to town. So I'm gonna turn that light off. Go lay this on my bed by the quilt. And I'm gonna say sayonara, because I gotta go. Take care, people.